Hey everybody, I'm out here in the garden again, harvesting calendulas. You can see right behind me these yellow ones. Back here, all these. Seems like I have to harvest these every day to be able to keep up with them before they go to seed, because they're coming in fast right now, which is awesome. I'm gonna have so much calendula. But I wanted to jump on and make this video today talking about something I just uploaded to the Body and Root subscription that I am creating. The waitlist is open, and I'll have it down in the description or the comments wherever you find this video. But I wanted to talk about this article I just added to that subscription called Prostaglandin Cascade, and I did some deep diving in what prostaglandins are, how they work, because like I've said before, and you'll hear me say this all the time, our body doesn't create something without a reason. So I found the prostaglandins in our body, I found them very interesting because everything I was reading was pointing to them being bad or causing inflammation, linked to your cycle health, your menstrual cycle health, and them being blamed for your symptoms, either like severe cramping or bloating, diarrhea, inflammation that happens around the menstrual cycle, things like that. And I just kept thinking there's got to be a reason, a rhyme and reason to this, because our body isn't going to create prostaglandins for no reason, right? So I've written about it before. You may have read some of my other articles that talk about how prostaglandins, the egg being released from our ovaries wouldn't happen without them, or the lining being able to shed from our uterus wouldn't happen without them. Different things like that. So there are good things that come from them. But what I found also interesting, and in the subscription I go over this really in depth, is that these prostaglandins are found in all of the tissues in our body. It doesn't just have to do with the menstrual cycle. Everybody's bodies create prostaglandins. And there's several different types of prostaglandins, but depending on the pathway and which type of prostaglandins are created will depend on if it's a pro-inflammatory response or an anti-inflammatory response. And I found that very interesting, so I did some more deep diving, of course, and I found the link between Omega-3 and Omega-6 fatty acids and how those actually trigger which pathway, the anti-inflammatory or the pro-inflammatory response. And a lot of that has to do with our diets and what we are taking into our bodies, because every cell in our body has fat in it, right? And these omega-3s and omega-6s are integrating into the fats in our cells, and when the prostaglandins need to be created for whatever reason, like in the reproductive system, when a woman is coming into her luteal phase and then into her menstrual phase, these prostaglandins are released, or even like the ovulation phase, different things like that, they're released for a reason, like to release that egg or to shed that lining, create the contractions that make it so that we can shed that lining. Different reasons like that. When they're released, what's happening is the fats in our cells, part of them are being broken down to create those prostaglandins. So depending on if the fats in your cells are high omega-3 or high omega-6 or a good balance will depend on what prostaglandins are created. And why it matters is because usually the prostaglandins that are created from that omega-6 fatty acids, usually those lean more towards the inflammatory response. And that's where you're going to start seeing like more severe cramping or more bloating and things like that, because the prostaglandins being created are coming from that omega-6 pathway. And then the prostaglandins that are more anti-inflammatory are coming from the omega-3. And so depending on what you're eating will kind of help direct what type of response those prostaglandins are, like which types are being created and the response in our bodies. So I found that very interesting. I did upload the quiz on my main website that you can take for free and get your results to see if your diet leans more towards that omega-6 or that omega-3, which after doing all the research, I was pretty surprised to find that I'm leaning towards omega-6. I was thinking, oh yeah, like I'm super health conscious, I'm very aware of what I'm taking into my body. There's no way that I'm leaning too far to the omega-6, but after going through all my research, yes, I'm eating a fairly high omega-6, at least leaning towards the omega-6 diet, and I do need to start adding in more things that have omega-3, and on that quiz, I walk you through which foods do what, things like that. And then also, if you want to jump on the Body and Root wait list, I do have that full article, and it goes into so much depth on this. And you'll be able to access that pretty soon here. I'll be opening up to the founders rate, that only people on my wait list will have early access to that subscription. But I have that in there. Over on bodybasedherbalism.com, that's where you'll find the free quiz to be able to see what your diet is leaning towards, whether it's pro-inflammatory or anti-inflammatory. But yeah, I just want to jump on because I was really excited. I always get very excited when I learn these new things, and I like to share them with everybody. So I thought I'd jump on and make a quick video about it. If you jump in the comments, you'll find all those links. But thanks for dropping in and learning something new with me.